What's up, Skull Nation? The tension is building, the buzz around our Minnesota Vikings is reaching a fever pitch, and we're right here in the heart of it, dissecting every move, every rumor, every strategic play our front office is making. This isn't just about preparing for a season, it's about forging a destiny, about building a team that can finally bring that Super Bowl trophy home. Can you feel it? That mix of electric anticipation and gnawing anxiety. Every decision right now feels monumental, a potential game changer that could either elevate us to true contender status or leave us fighting from behind. It's exhilarating, it's terrifying, and as devoted members of the Skull Nation, we're riding every high and low with our team. Before we plunge headfirst into the strategic depths of what's unfolding, do yourselves a massive favor. Absolutely smash that like button, then dive into the comments and unleash your most passionate thoughts. What's got your blood pumping and what's keeping you up at night? And seriously, for the honor of Valhalla, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single crucial update from this wild ride. Your engagement is the lifeblood of this channel, and we thrive on hearing every one of your roars. The current climate isn't just about filling roster spots. It's about unearthing those hidden gems, those unsung heroes who can unexpectedly tilt the scales in our favor. And speaking of unexpected turns, there's a whisper, a faint echo of a familiar face, a player who might just be looking for a chance to restart his career, to rewrite his story. Could his return be a surprising piece of our defensive puzzle? Alright, Skull Nation, let's kick things off with a name that might trigger some mixed reactions. Cameron Dantzler, the former Vikings cornerback, a guy we drafted with high hopes back in 2020. He's been quietly grinding away in the UFL with the Memphis Showboats, and he recently posted something on social media that really tugs at the heartstrings. God, give me another chance, and I trust I'm gonna make the most of it. You can almost feel the raw hunger, the desperate plea for redemption in that message, right? It immediately makes you wonder, are NFL teams paying attention? Could the Vikings be considering a reunion? Dantzler is still young, only 26, turning 27 in September, so the athleticism and raw talent that made him a promising pick are absolutely still there. As a rookie, he showed us some serious flashes, racking up 46 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, and even a forced fumble. In his second year, he continued to contribute solid numbers with 53 tackles, an interception, and 8 passes defensed. But then, things got chaotic. After the coaching and GM changes, with Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah stepping in, Dantzler just couldn't lock down a consistent starting role, and by 2022, he was out. His 2023 journey became a dizzying tour of the NFL, bouncing from the Commanders to the Bills, then the Texans, and finally the Saints, but nothing ever stuck. Being cut by so many different teams definitely points to areas he needed to improve. But the sheer number of opportunities he received also screams of a player with undeniable physical gifts. The million-dollar question is, after proving himself in another professional league, has he matured? Has he found that consistency, that mental edge to become the reliable corner we desperately need? We're definitely in need of help in the cornerback room, but a Dantzler reunion feels like a long shot, a romanticized what-if scenario in the cutthroat business of the NFL. Still, that tiny flicker of hope remains. What if this is the moment he finally puts it all together, finds that missing piece, and truly makes the most of that another chance? It's the kind of story that would make for an incredible comeback. Now, let's talk about a move that could send shockwaves through the NFC North and directly impact our bitter rivals, the Green Bay Packers. We're talking about potentially snatching a veteran presence, a proven commodity from right under their noses. The name on everyone's lips is Rasul Douglas, the seasoned cornerback. Now, I know some of you are probably raising an eyebrow, remembering his 2024 campaign with the Buffalo Bills, where he allowed 123.7 passer rating and had a PFF coverage grade of 58.9. Not exactly all pro numbers, right? But hold on a minute. Skull Nation, this isn't just about statistics, it's about impact. About a player who can bring veteran savvy, leadership, and the ability to make crucial plays when the game is on the line. Matt Holder from Bleacher Report threw out Rasul Douglas as a potential target for both the Vikings and the Packers, and this is where it gets absolutely spicy. Douglas had a career resurgence in Green Bay back in 2021, so a reunion for them makes perfect sense. But imagine the sheer audacity, the strategic brilliance. If we were to swoop in and sign him, it would be a monumental gut punch to the Packers, a late free agency power play that could absolutely shift the dynamics of the division. We've got Jeff Okudah and Isaiah Rodgers projected as our starting corners. But let's be real, both were primarily backups last year. Douglas wouldn't just provide much needed depth. He'd bring a battle-tested veteran presence, a reliable option if one of our younger guys falters or gets injured. The Packers might not need Douglas as desperately as we do in terms of raw depth, but strategically denying them his presence is just as important. With Jair Alexander's leadership role possibly in flux and young guys like Nate Hobbs and Kaisea Nixon stepping into bigger roles, Douglas could be that invaluable mentor. He's got 19 career interceptions and 79 passes defensed, including 5 picks in 2023 alone. Even if he didn't record any last year, his instincts, his ball hawking ability, and his veteran savvy are still there. If the Vikings manage to sign Rasul Douglas, it's not just about adding a player to the roster. It's a statement. It's a strategic tactical strike designed to undermine our rivals, to get inside their heads. Imagine Rasul Douglas in purple and gold, stepping up in a crucial moment, making a game-winning play against the Packers in 2025. That Skull Nation is the kind of stuff that fuels legends and sends shockwaves through the division. And now, Skull Nation, prepare yourselves, because this is where the conversation truly intensifies. We've talked about a former Viking seeking a second chance, and a veteran who could be snatched from our rivals. But there's another path, a bold, high-stakes maneuver that could fundamentally transform our defensive secondary, a trade for a former first-round draft pick. We're talking about Greg Newsome II, the talented cornerback from the Cleveland Browns, a player who could become the missing piece in our defensive puzzle. Our pass defense, as we all painfully know, was a sieve last year, allowing the 5th most passing yards in the league, and we shed some crucial secondary pieces this offseason. While our general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah smartly poured resources into the offensive and defensive lines, and we appreciate that grit, it's left our defensive backfield looking alarmingly thin. We've got Josh Metella stepping up, which is fantastic, but we desperately need a consistent lockdown cornerback to line up opposite Byron Murphy. With the free agent market essentially picked clean, except for a few aging veterans, the trade market becomes our most viable and exciting avenue. Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports wasn't just throwing darts when he identified Greg Newsome II as a prime trade target. He hit the bullseye. Here's why this makes absolute sense for the Minnesota Vikings. Our own GM, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, was actually in the Cleveland Browns front office when they drafted Newsome in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. That's a direct connection, folks. Kwesi knows his talent, his work ethic, and exactly what he brings to the table. And here's the kicker that makes this so intriguing. The Browns seem to be slowly but surely phasing out a former first rounder, which is absolutely baffling. He only managed 3 starts last season under their defensive coordinator. Newsome is heading into the final year of his rookie contract, and the Browns are currently in salary cap hell, boasting the highest total player salary allocation in the league. This is our golden opportunity to swoop in and potentially acquire him for surprisingly low draft capital. Yes, his $13.4 million cap hit is significant, but this is a calculated high reward risk, especially if we're not comfortable relying solely on a combination of Isaiah Rodgers and Jeff Okudah for that crucial CB2 spot. Newsome battled a hamstring injury last season, and his Pro Football Focus coverage grades weren't exactly sparkling. But sometimes all a player needs is a change of scenery, a fresh coaching staff, a new system to finally unleash that untapped potential. Imagine what a player of his caliber with his draft pedigree could become in our defense under a GM who already believes in him. This isn't just about acquiring a player. It's about a strategic investment, a foundational piece that could solidify our secondary for years to come. This is the kind of bold, aggressive move that defines a serious contender.